Poor Muffy is the second segment of the 26th episode of the first season of Arthur, and generally this is a good episode with a really good message in it, but I don't think Muffy really learned the lesson as much as she could have done. It starts off with Muffy and Francine over at Muffy's house, and Muffy begins to sneeze a lot. And it transpires that she's actually allergic to the carpet. So they're going to be pulling up the carpet in her room, and apparently this is going to take several days for some reason. I don't know why, but it is, and Francine says that Muffy can stay at her house. So while she's there, she shares her bedroom with Muffy, and Muffy brings over a television, and Muffy begins to realise that not everybody lives a lavish life of luxury the way she does, and she kind of turns her nose up at everything. I mean, I'm on her side. I wouldn't want to eat another family's leftovers, if unless I had to, of course. If I was in dire straits, fair enough. But I don't think anybody would really want to eat another family's leftovers for dinner. But she was still very rude about it, and she's got this horrible snobby attitude that she uses to look down on people with. And Francine gets really annoyed by this and tries to tell Muffy straight. But it doesn't seem like she's going to learn the lesson. Will she ever realise the truth? Obviously, this is a really important message for people in Muffy's position. I think it's very easy for people, especially children, who grow up with not necessarily money, but who are spoiled. Because a lot of people don't necessarily have a lot of money. You can still spoil children in other ways. But if a child is spoilt, it's an important message for them to actually think about how other people live, and also to think about your attitude and the way you talk to each other. And there's a beautiful moment where she asks, kind of rudely, but also maybe philosophically, she asks Francine's father how come their family don't have as much money as the Crosswires. And her father gives a really admirable response and concludes it by saying he wouldn't know what to do with all of that money because he just likes to spend time with his family. And all of the money in the world obviously cannot bring you a family. And I thought that was a really strong message that was really, it's something that could really hit home. It's the whole money can't buy love and it can't buy happiness. But, if I had that money, I would definitely try. And that's all fine and it worked really well. But I do think Muffy didn't quite learn her lesson. I think it's more beneficial for the viewer than it is for Muffy. It's not the first time an episode of Arthur has kind of disappointed me insofar as the characters not getting their comeuppance or not really feeling like they learned a true lesson. But nevertheless, I feel like the message itself is still clear. It's an important message because children come from all kinds of backgrounds with all kinds of privileges or, financial struggles. And it's good to show that everybody is different, and it can hopefully make children think about how they treat each other. It's not an episode I remembered from my childhood, so I'm considering this the first time I've seen it, and it definitely wasn't bad.